دائما أبدين. In our last meeting we were talking about the unity. The unity in the church, the unity between the members of the church together in Jesus Christ. Then we're talking about the unity in the family. And we cover 2 points. The unity in the family means the unity with Jesus Christ at the head of the family. Then the unity of the family together. And we found that the relationship between husband and wife has to be more deeper than any other relationship. Now we have to cover 4 points at the time in us concerning the unity in the family. We have many levels, many other levels of the unity. The third one, the unity on the family level. Now, we have to talk about the relationship between this small family, husband, wife, and their children, with the bigger families. When the couple is married, the 2 families have become one family. For a certain person, he is looking for a partner. It is very important to him to look for her family. It is very important for this person who chooses the partner to be matched together, not only in the level of both of them, but also in the level of the 2 big families. That's me. I have to take my partner from another family, can be matched with my family, because after marriage, the 2 families has to be one. If there is great difference between the 2 families, it will be a big problem in our life. When the couple is married, the 2 families have become one family. When the 2 are married, they have become the means of linking the 2 families. What is that means? You as a husband, you are a link between your family and her family. And in the same way, she is the link between her family and your family. With their marriage, the 2 families turn into one large united family, which strengthens their connection with each other. If they became one, you will live together in a peaceful way, supported by the big family, supported by the members of the big family, which was 2 before, and through you became one. The couple's marriage offers a large number of extended family. Each would have more than one father, more than one mother, and more brothers and sisters. In the English language, it's easy to know that, because usually we say brother-in-law, sister-in-law, mother-in-law, father-in-law. It is not like that in the Arabic language. Mother-in-law, father-in-law, because the 2 families became one. The husband should deal with his wife's family exactly as he deals with his own family without any discrimination against his wife's family. The same also for her. That applies to everything. For example, on different occasions. Sometimes you are living in the same town, on the same place of the two big families. What is about Christmas? Do you spend the Christmas with your small family, your wife and your children, or you take them to spend the day with your own family? What's about her family if they are living in the same place? Don't discriminate. You have to balance the relationship. You have to do the same with her family as doing with your family. Gifts. If your family are living in Egypt, the same for you. Your family living in Egypt. I think you are preparing many gifts for the families. Are you thinking in her family in the same way, in the same level in which you are thinking about your family? يا ترى بتشتروا الهدايا بنفس الطريقة؟ فكر فيها. What about the financial aids? Maybe you have a job, but your wife hasn't a job. You make money, but she doesn't make money. What about the money? Is it yours alone or the family's money? What do you think about helping your family? If her family needs help, financial help, but she doesn't have a job, or she doesn't work, she hasn't money, do you help her family as you help your family? It has to be like that. Because your family and her family became one, and you have to do with your family like her family. Social events. Next month, it will be the wedding of her son in Egypt. Will you go with her to attend the wedding of her brother? Sorry, her brother? No. I'll give him the chance to go. What about your brother's wedding? Did you go alone or ordered her to go with you? No, we went together. Why don't you do that for her brother? Please do the same. Her brother became a brother, and your brother became the same. That means also the couple has to visit their families together, as I said last time. Usually I prefer to go together everywhere. To your family at the same level, you have to go with her to her family. The wife has to choose gifts for both sides carefully that include the same frequency and the same value as she can. Neither the husband nor the wife should complain to the other side's family, as this constitutes a barrier and disrupts the relationship later on. Also can say that the husband and the wife should offer different compliments in front of each other's families to strengthen the relationship. Usually is blaming her in front of her mother. No. The same she is doing in front of his brother. No. You have to talk well in front of the families. That is the fourth level, the unity in the financial issues. It is a big problem. The status that was established in the early church should be maintained in the church at your home. The same. What we read about it in Acts about the first believers has to be the same at home. We can read in Acts 4:13, and the multitude that believed in the Lord were one heart and one soul, and no one said that anything belonging to him, but they shared everything. What about your money and her money? It is worth saying that research tells us that 37% of the family problems were because of the financial problems. Therefore, the church recommends the following. But before I have to talk about this point, I want to tell you something. In the Gulf area, I face usually the family problems there in the Gulf area. For the poor people, for the laborers, the main problem, he left his wife with his own family in Egypt. And from time to time, at least 1 or 2 years, he tried to go to Egypt to be with her for 2 or 3 weeks, and then return back to be at Kuwait or in other Gulf countries. The problem concerning her relationship with his own family, usually like that. Many of them ended by divorce. Not for the problem between him and her, but between her and his family. That's about the poor. But what about the highly educated? Most of them, the problem is concerning the money. She makes money and he makes money. He has his own money and she has her own money. Financially, they are separated. But they are living in Gulf area temporarily. They will leave the Gulf area. After leaving the Gulf area, everyone is thinking about his future. She is thinking to go to America, but he is thinking to go to Australia because his family there. He has the money and she has the money. Everyone decide what you want, separated than the other. The problem is the money. The same situation I faced in Australia. Many of our people, I feel sorry to say that, they are living supported by the money of the government. They have jobs. And they deceive the country. How they are deceiving the country? The country said, if you are separated under one roof, you will double our support you. Because if they are separated, the country or the government have to bring a home or house for the wife, for the separated wife, for that to encourage them to live together. They pay more money for them. The government gave him check and for him another one. This means she has to have an account in the bank separated from his account. This means she has her own money and he has his own money, and through money they became two after they was one. That means money maybe separates both of them to be two after one, or two out of one. For that, we have to deal very carefully with the matter of the money. After marriage, their ownership of things must be on equal footing. What is the meaning of that? They want to buy something. Can he buy this thing on his name or the name of both? No. They have to own it together. Anything after marriage has to be on the name of the family, not the name of him or her. Although he is only working, he has a job, but he hasn't. No, the money became for both of them. For that, they have to own anything on the name of both of them. After marriage, bank accounts has to be shared accounts, joint account. Sometimes we can find him buying something in Egypt in his name, or making some money in the banks of Egypt on his name. Where is your wife? It's my money. No, it has to be joint account. After marriage, their planning for the saving should be shared. We have to discuss the matter with each other. We have to share in planning about our future. Please, you became one. For that, she has to agree. She has to be happy with you in buying anything, in choosing anything, anywhere. You have to think together. Or you have to delay the decision till we became one. And this decision. Number 5. The unity of thought and responsibilities. Through being many are one body in Christ, and everyone members one of another, as Romans 12:5. Our Lord Jesus Christ teaches us in a certain story, the story of feeding the multitude, that every person gave something in a way, and every person got something in a way. All of them gave, and all of them have taken. We can see together what happened in this story. First, everybody gave something. The multitude gave, of course. The multitude offered time and energy. They left their house and went to Jesus outside of the country. The disciples gave also the feelings, the emotions. When they went to Jesus Christ asking him, let them go home. It became evening. They gave the feelings, they gave the emotions, they gave the caring of them. They also participated in distribution of the food and gathering the food. That's about the disciples. But what about the child? What's about the young boy? The young boy gave more than anybody, because he gave all that he had. The Lord Jesus also gave. تعال نبص على الchild. الchild كان بيشتغل ايه؟ with the sheep. He's going for many days and have the food for many days to return back to home. He gave all what he had. What we will eat after that for the rest of the days. He didn't think. He didn't think about himself. He was thinking about the others. to give all what he had for all these people. For that he gave more than them, although he was the youngest person in the area. The Lord Jesus Christ also offered everything to every person. He fulfilled the body's needs. He healed the body of some of them. He comforted the souls when he opened to them to be with him. He also gave the comfort to the spirits, because at first he was talking about the heaven, about the kingdom of the heaven, the kingdom of God. All of them gave. And also in this story, every person receives something. The disciples received, said what? Blessings of discipleship and partaking. It is a great blessing for us to help somebody, to be with God, to help him. The multitude received body nourishment, soul nourishment, and spirit nourishment. The boy, of course, received lasting remembrance by offering the Lord his own food. The Lord Jesus received also a lot of love and gratitude from everybody. He also gained members in the kingdom of God, in the kingdom of the heaven, new members in the afterlife. That's the family. The family, Jesus at the head, and the apostles, and the multitude, and the child, and the members of this body. All of them gave, and all of them received. In the same way, all of them, we have to help each other, and all of us, we have to receive from everybody. Now we are looking to the patterns of planning and responsibility. Pattern 1, the husband is fully in charge. كل الخيوط في ايده. He ordering everybody. Alone he is thinking about everybody. He only planning about the future. He feels that he is the head, and he feels the head can do everything for everybody. Is it good? Pattern 2, sometimes the wife is completely in charge. Some of the women have a very strong personality, are very energetic women. For that, the planning only from the women, the ordering from the women. Do you have such like these women in America? Pattern 3, distributing responsibility but in isolating. What is the meaning of this point? Everyone sharing in the responsibility, but everyone has to do his own responsibilities, separating them to another. What is the meaning of that? For her, preparing food, but today she is sick. It is your responsibility. What I can do? I am sick. It is your responsibility. No. Pattern 4 is the best one. Exchanging opinions and decision making. All of us can say his opinion before making a decision. And being fair in responsibility distribution. What she will do and what he will do depends the ability, the time, the health, and many things. Number 3 in this pattern 4 is the flexibility in application. He heard that she has a flu. Maybe he will return back earlier than her to share in preparing food. Maybe he called her, please don't prepare anything. I'll bring pizza with me. Only to help her. She feels that he loves her. She feels that he is a very flexible person. He is sharing person because he is a lovely person. That is the 4th pattern. I think you will agree me that we encourage everyone to adopt the 4th pattern as it leads to the best results. It is essential that the husband takes part in the housework as well as outside. Maybe you can tell me she is all the time at home and the most of the time I am outside home. She has no any more responsibilities than to take care about everything at home. Why? You ask me to help her at home. I am asking you for 2 reasons. The first, to show that you love her by sharing with her in the works at home. The second, although she is full-time caring about everything at home, I want to tell you that it is very hard to take care about the kids. Once a certain husband came to meet me in New Jersey. And he told me, I want to separate. I am asking for a divorce. Why? I have 3 children. He said 14, 12, and 8 years old, as I remember. He was talking about his wife, against his wife. The house is not clean. The children are not clean. The children are not doing well in the school. Everything is bad at home, at school. For that he asked him for a divorce. I told him, give her a vacation. Send her to go to Egypt, at least for 3 weeks. And try to prepare everything as you want. Deal with your children as you like to do. Be a link between your children and the school as you want, as you hope. Do what your wife didn't do. For 3 weeks. But I told them, after 1 week or 10 days, you will come after her to Egypt, but to Abbasiyah. Did you understand what is the meaning of Abbasiyah? Of course, the cathedral is in Abbasiyah. I am not talking about the cathedral. I am not talking about my office in Abbasiyah. But I am talking about the mental hospital in Abbasiyah in Egypt. Because he can't deal. He will know well what is the efforts needs for 3 children. You can't do what your wife is doing. For that, please help her. Don't leave her for the home workings. She can't alone do everything. For that, please, you have to think about sharing with her in everything at home. Number 6. the unity in raising the children. We are one towards dealing with the children. Certain considerations should be taken into account. Raising the children is a mutual responsibility between the husband and the wife. It's your responsibility, father and mother. Different rules should be adopted by the mom and the dad. For example, meals, sanitations, studying, how to deal with the problems. You can think together, what is your sharing and what's her sharing. Taking part in distributing responsibility, rules between the husband and the wife according to the age. The infants should be with their moms, and the one who is little older should be with his dad. Usually, we had a problem with the first child. When the mother gives birth, the other child. The first child may be 2-3 years old. The last 3 years, he takes loves from the father and the mother, from everybody. He is taking the care from both of them all the time. She is taking the love from both of them all the time. Suddenly, mom had another child. She has to take care about the new child because he is independent. She is caring about everything for him. But what about the older one, the 2 years old child? Of course, the mother can deal with him, can give him his needs, especially love and time. For that, usually I ask fathers, it is your responsibility. You have to give more time for the older one because the mother has to take care about the younger one, the new child. عشان كده it is a big problem for the father when he is opening the door of the house. He is going directly for whom? For the new baby. And the older one is watching. He was waiting. He didn't find himself with mom. He is looking for the care of dad. But dad did the same like the mother is going to the new child. Please, you have to give more time, more attention to the older one. For that, the parents also should be very keen on keeping away the children from our differences and the problems. They should help the children in a way to grow up more psychologically stable. Sometimes the father is talking with his old son about the problem between him and his mother. No. Sometimes the mother taking the girl closer to her and opened her heart to her daughter, and she is talking against his father and the problem between her and her father. Please don't do that. Don't struggle in front of your children. Once 13 years old boy came to meet me and he told me, I decided, what? I will not marry any Egyptian girl. Why? Because mom and dad are struggling all the time, are fighting all the time. The Egyptians are fighting all the time. For that, I choose to marry outside of our community. 13 years old. But I told them, for the same reason, you have to marry from the Egyptian girls. Why? And I told them that the first problem, if you marry a non-Egyptian girl, mother, although she is suffering from your dad, or your dad is suffering from your mother, they are living together for you. Because for your benefit to live with your mother and father. I said to him that, but I feel that I didn't say all the truth. The truth. I have to blame his father and his mother because they are struggling in front of him. Please, don't do that in front of your children. Unity of parents in dealing with different stages in a children's life, also the punishment should be through of well and stay consistent in punishment giving gifts. يعني الكلام ده. That means the married couple should be consistent in their behavior. They should appear in front of the children as united in their thinking, in the punishment as well as in the rewards. The two of them should be attentive to what they do with their children. However, besides the punishment must be the one who decides the rewards. What's happening? In most of our families, the father is coming from his job. The mother is waiting him. Close the door. She is talking with him about the faults, the mistakes of the kids, of the children. Then the father became angry and dealing with them in an angry way. Then after that, the mom taking the children. What happened? No, it is wrong. The dad punished them, and the mom kissing them. No. You have to plan together what you will do together, what he will do as a father and what you will do as a mother, but you have to think together what is your responsibility in punishment and what's her responsibility in this way. You have to be one. You have to think together. You have to be one in front of them. Each of the husband or the wife should work hard on creating a better picture about each other. They should also be keen on being fair with all members of the family, whether the young or the old, the boys or the girls. Let's always pray at the end the same prayer in the Holy Mass, the unity of the heart that proceeds from the love shall always prevail on us. ولإلهنا كل مجد وكرامة من الآن وكل أوان وإلى الدهر الدور. Sorry, because we have no time. We have to finish at 11:30 now. It is 11:35. In cases of physical abuse, while divorce is not a possibility, if counseling hasn't corrected the abuse, what do you recommend in order? In our church, we accept divorce only for adultery. If one of them committed adultery, that's mean one of them attached to another, be one with another. This means separated himself from her partner and became one with another. This reason, only the one reason, which we give the permission to marry or get a divorce in our church, concerning what mentioned in the Bible, especially in Matthew 5, Matthew 19, Mark 10, and Luke 16. It is only for adultery. For that, it is very important to be under the supervision of spiritual Christian counselor. Usually, we spend time in the problem, and we try to do something at the end. We have to do something from the beginning, not from the end. You have to think that marriage in our church, it's for life. And you do your best to keep this marriage well. And question, do you prefer that the Egyptian person marry from the Egyptians, as you said before? This point doesn't mean that the Egyptian better than the others. No. The majority the problem became from the Egyptians, not from the Americans, or not from the Europeans, or not from the Australians. The problem, the Egyptian usually ordering, not sharing with the other. Maybe share at home, but not share in the decision. Usually the Egyptian man doesn't give the chance to the women to share with him, to think with him, to decide with him. Usually asking for a lot, more than the efforts of the wife. Usually the Egyptian person is more closer to his family than the American woman, than the American person. For that, he will be in a problem. That's the first point. The second point, the culture. Difference in culture. Difference in culture make many problems. The third point, the thoughts about marriage. For whom he is Coptic Orthodox, his thoughts is that the marriage is for life. Marriage is for life. For the other people, marriage is through love. We love each other, we live with each other. For that. Why we live together and struggling together in all our life? That's different in culture. For that, the Egyptian can live, although there is a big problem between them, although the great differences between them, because the Egyptians feel that marriage for life, not only through love. For that, it's a big problem in this way. But I can say, many of the foreigners are better so far than our people. The problem begins from our people, from the Egyptians. I noticed that in Egypt, as if I noticed that in America, I noticed that in Canada, I noticed that in Europe. A certain father saying, I am very firm with my kids, but my wife is not. Sometimes they don't listen to her and ask me to talk to them in order to be heard. If I am outside, she asked me to talk in the phone to them. It is important for you to be firm with them. But also for the women or for the mother has to be firm, but at the same time to be emotional more than the husband. But please do Hoa. You help you to control your kids, but through love. The problem if the kids afraid from their dad, but she don't love him at the same level as they love her mom. My husband and I are on different spiritual levels. How do we become more on the same level? Why didn't think about this point before marriage? Why didn't look about her spirituality before marriage? What was you are looking for choosing your partner? Colors? What? From where he chooses her? From the church or from where? The problem, we think about spirituality not before marriage, but after marriage. Through love, you can change her. Through your leadership, you can guide her, you can help her. You can go together to the church and together to pray together and to read together as we will talk in the next meeting. In Arabic واحد بعد بيقول أنا بشكر ربنا أو واحدة اداني الفرصة إن أحضر مؤتمر مهم زي ده. أنا ما عنديش مشكلة كبيرة تخلي حياتي صعبة ومستحيلة. زوجي ممتاز حنين يحب اولاده هادي محترم. امال بتكتبي لي ليه طيب؟ قال لها كلكم فاهمين عربي امال ايه الحكايه؟ ليه بتضحكوا يعني؟ المشكله ايه بقى؟ اول ما يوصل البيت I summarize it in Arabic. اول ما يوصل البيت انا لازم اخلص يستلم الكنبة ويبقى شبه نايم طول الوقت. يعتبر مساعدتي في البيت أو تربية أولاد مش شغلته، بل يعتبرها إهانة له. Is he from Upper Egypt؟ بمعنى هو صعيدي ولا إيه؟ She is written that he feels that it's shameful to him to help her at home. No. Although he is working outside and she is only living to take care of the kids and of him or the house, he has to help her to show his love towards her by sharing with her. At the same point, I can say, your kids need you as a father, as they are in need for her as a mother. They are in need for both of you, for the father and the mother, for that you have to give them more time, more attention, if you want to raise them psychologically well. هي في نفس الوقت تقول أنا عارفة إن أنا مش زوجة مثالية. لو ده صليب يقول لي لا he has to help you. another question. I think it has to be the last one. Sorry, I have a lot of questions. We can answer some of them at the evening.
So we have break after now. If you want to extend a little bit, there's just a break.
زي ما كتبنا لهم احنا خدنا كده ربع ساعة زيادة. That's enough يعني. I have few questions. There are many activities they have to do with their kids, not only to listen all the day. We separated them from their children. Their children came to be with them as long as we can. For that we gave them the chance to be with the children. I have few questions on behalf of many people. He wrote that. Why Egyptian wife, when he comes to the States, live under her husband's care, and he help her to get education, treatment, emotional support. Once she establishes herself, she turns against him. Be ungrateful, denying her husband efforts, love and care of her in the name of independence. Why the wife always take her family side, right or wrong, in any. From this convention, I want to give an advice for our people planning to come to America. Many of them is planning to immigrate to America or to Europe. They plan to come together as a family. It is very hard for the family. I think it is better for them. The husband comes alone for a while to study something, to raise his knowledge, to find a suitable job, to be better financially. Then he can bring them after finishing his study or preparing himself to be a successful person here in America. Usually what is happening? The family came together and he tried to find a job. Of course, his study on Egypt don't enable him to find a good job. He has to study. How can he find the time to study? Although he has to afford the family. He has to pay the bills. For that he has to find any job. Most of them find gas station with very low salary. At the same time, although he's finding any job for the family, he is giving the chance to his wife to study. The wife will finish her study. The wife will find a better job. The wife will get a better salary. The wife can't respect him anymore because she became better than him. Usually they are talking that. For that, it's important for him to begin to raise himself, to find a job, suitable job. Then he can bring his family. For that, although sometimes it's happening like that, I want to say to you, you are one. You are working for another. You are helping the other partner as you can. Please, if you get money, if you have a salary after many years without a job, you have to feel that yours is not yours as a wife, but yours as a family. As I said before. I have to finish now because at least 19 minutes more than what in your schedule. I'll try to read all of these